Hey, thanks. It's always good to be here. You're some of the best people in the world, some amazingly creative people. I enjoy working with you, getting to know you, and being with you. So what I'm going to talk about today, because I'm a bit of an inventor, an entrepreneur, I'm a creative junkie. That's really the truth. I'm going to talk about video and internet marketing. I do a lot of video, I've done a lot of marketing, and do a lot of entrepreneurial things. So because I'm concerned about my battery going dead here, let's get started here. Maybe that's not, okay, let's try this. What is marketing? So I'm going to take you on a little journey. So bear with me. Hopefully by the end of this thing, you'll have learned something and perhaps be inspired to actually take some action. What is marketing? It's developing and using strategies aligned with tools to get people to buy, support, and attend your shtick, whatever your shtick is, okay? Why do we market? Well, some of us want to make a lot of money. Some of us want to sell something that we've made. Some people want you to attend something they're putting on. Some people want you to support some sort of great effort. Some people, like many people here, are looking for some money to help get an idea funded. Some people want to become a star and need all the promotion they can get. And some people, for example, really need marketing to support their creative endeavors, like songwriters. The strategy's been around forever. There's basics. Obviously, your product has to do something. We'll assume you've achieved that. But really, this is what it comes down to. You've got to define the target audience, who you're selling to. And then you have to use tools to get their attention. And then you have to get them to act, to buy, to support, to invest. Now you're in business, and you're actually making something happen. What are the tools? Well, a long time ago, it used to be newspapers. And newspapers had a little bit of a kind of very regionalized, almost cities and little towns. And that's how you marketed. You put an ad in the newspaper. Magazines came along. They had much more of a national marketing strategy. They had color. They were flashier. And they could kind of target different subjects. Then radio came along. And now radio could reach across the nation and begin to provide programming and advertising on radio was the first way that you could really start to get your messaging across in form. Then, of course, came the direct marketing, and the direct mailing. That was a way to really target your people, find out who they were, and just hit them every week with those ads. We all get them even to this day. Whoop. Uh-oh. But in the last 65 years, it's interesting, because, in fact, TV has been around for about 65 years. And TV brought to this whole marketing campaign the capacity to add video. They were called ads, right? But in fact, we could call it video. Then, of course, we got the internet. And suddenly, marketing, you could bring your messaging all around the planet and almost free, okay? And as well, you could start, particularly now with social media, to start to really target your audience and find the people who want your product and bring them in and collect them and market to them and to inform them. And what's really amazing right now is crowdfunding. And we're going to talk about crowdfunding. If you can imagine this, what you're selling is yourself, and people give you money for that. Maybe an idea, whatever it is. But in fact, it's a way to market to get money. Very interesting new thing for people like the inventors, because a long time, not that long ago, you had to form corporations and jump through all sorts of legal hoops. Crowdfunding has changed the nature of the game. All of those are still in use today, but the cost is extraordinary. This is an example of newspapers, for example. A lot of people aren't aware of this, but a San Diego Union Tribune full page, one time, cost $46,000. It's hard to believe.
What's it worth?
Well, that's a good question. And what concerns me is, think what a newspaper does. It comes across your desk, you read it, you scan through. Only the eyeballs that see it, that one time, actually benefit from that particular ad. And then it becomes thrown away, never to be seen again. Big money. Magazines are even more lucrative for the magazines. The Glamour magazine, for example, it's hard for me to see this here. The inside front cover, one time, $302,000. That's big bucks, okay? But obviously people find that it's worthwhile because it is really serious targeted marketing and reaches specifically the audience that they're interested in. Radio. Radio's cool. We all listen to the radio. Kogo here, for example, the average cost for a 30-second ad is close to $200. Now it's going to be more during drive time and less at night when there's not that many listeners. That's AM, that's right. But the point is, think about that. Only those people who are listening hear it one time, and then it's gone. So, but it works, and still people pay that kind of dough. Here's TV. Now TV is a whole different ball game, because now you've got the power of video. You've got that action stuff that's been around for 65 years in terms of marketing on TV. Here's the average cost for a 30-second ad. Super Bowl 2011, 30-second ad, $3.1 million. Obviously, targeting marketing and reaching the audience that is interested in what you do with video is worth a lot of money. Well, the internet came along and it suddenly started to make marketing a lot easier. But mostly, for a long time until very recently, websites were primarily text and still images. But then YouTube happened. 2005, think about that. It was in 2005 that YouTube launched, and you can see the growth curve here. It's been absolutely exponential. Why? Because people love video. What can you say? That's how we want to learn. It's the best way to share information. So YouTube, for bazillions of reasons, has really taken off, and it's made it possible for you to use video on websites, social media, and other places now. And that now is adding added value to your marketing campaign, the video aspect. Social media is targeting the marketing and building your prospects, again, mostly with text and images, but it's personal and sometimes engaging, but very, very significant in terms of the reach and the way in which you can target your marketing. Crowdfunding now is suddenly we put it all together with a highly targeted strategy and tool and money delivery system. This is amazing. They pay you in advance for your ideas. Where else does that happen? Okay? I mean, that's rare. It's totally unique. And it gives us a terrific opportunity. So there's a lot of them out there. You're familiar with them. Kickstarter being the one that everybody is talking about. Indiegogo is another one for people like ourselves. Then there's a lot of social kind of crowdfunding, GoFundMe and different things. So these are your choices. The common denominator is in successful marketing throughout our time is video. It's made the difference. So you can look at TV. You can do the internet to provide your videos and websites and YouTube, and as well crowdfunding, which again is video centric. We're going to talk about that, the importance of your video. So when you think about video and internet marketing, you need, and I'm talking to you now, to assess your best options. And it was interesting to see how many people are thinking about doing a Kickstarter or videos. We'll get to that. Here's the magic mix. You have to have a website these days. You really need, if you're thinking about marketing, really marketing your products, you really need to involve and build into your marketing strategy some sort of social media, and as well use video. Think about the success we talked about television, the way it's changed our world. To try to do it in a different way is okay, but if you wish to maximize your chances for success, you will decide right now to use video as a central tool for your marketing campaign. That means you have to have one video. You have to have one. Obviously, more is better. Think about this. Our entire lifetime, everyone in this room, has been acculturated to accepting and paying attention to 30 and 60-second ads. That's all we ever see on television. That's it, okay? Until recently, all ads were 30 to 60 seconds. And it cost big bucks because you had to have geniuses and wizards in the marketing industry to craft that message in those little bits. Paid lots of money for that. But they work. So now, some powerful stuff. With YouTube, messaging suddenly expanded around 2005, and we can now tell a longer story. Say 3 minutes. What a difference. I coined the phrase megamercials, because that's really what they are. I remember the first time I saw an ad that went for a minute and a half with some car company, Audi or something like that, and I went, wow, that's amazing. It was just so refreshing to not just see the 30 and 60 second bit. And it appears to be a comfortable attention span right now because of what's happening with all the video that we're seeing all the time. Is about 3 minutes is about what we're comfortable with. So have to really take that into consideration. So it's a magic mix of message and images and eyeballs. And by eyeballs, I mean repeating the eyeballs, seeing that stuff. Ad experts agree that it's the repeating of that ad that finally drives people to act. Buy me. Did you buy me yet? Well, you should. Come on now. Boom, sold. You have to repeat things, okay? And that's where, for example, newspapers, it's a one-time only, you know. QVC, I don't know if it was Russ told me this maybe, that it's after the 19th viewing of the same primary message about a particular product that finally people act. So 19 exposures. Think about that, okay? So you have to build a following. Social media is the most powerful tool for finding and building your marketing campaign, and repeat your message to your targeted audience. Those people who come to your Facebook page, you have a captive audience. Now you have an opportunity to start to do what we talked about, to repeat these messages. So let's review for just a second. In 2015, this year, the most effective strategy, write this down or see it later on the videos, okay, should contain the following. Defining your product, mission, passion, purpose, of course. Creating a website in which to craft that message with text, stills, and videos. Creating a Facebook page and getting all of your family and friends, at least, to see what you're doing. Twitter as well. Capturing interested prospects, that's what marketing is all about, by having people sign in or sign up to receive updates because they're interested. Creating and delivering new information to keep people interested, otherwise they walk away. Same old message all the time, they're gonna move along. And then, this is where now we're seeing this all the time. Every one of you gets emails every day from someone who is somehow you've associated with them, and they keep hitting you because they want you to participate. So direct emailing instead of direct mail is obviously the way to go. But with what? What are you going to actually hit those repeating emails? What are you going to fill that with? With a drip campaign using videos in your emails. 1 to 3 minute pieces that lead to action. That's a whole new opportunity. If you, instead of getting just an email with the stuff that's there, you know, and you have to read through it, and typically you kind of go, okay, got it. But if you go to that email and suddenly there's a video there, and it's something new, and it's live, and it's something you're interested in, how many of you think you might pay more attention to that? Bingo. So, you're an inventor. All that's been laid out before is what you need to do as an inventor who's ready to let the world know about your invention or your product. And this is the most important thing. Begin now. To put those pieces in place, even if it's not posted, because it's the foundation of your marketing campaign. You have to start. Begin now. Every one of you. Get a sketchbook, put down your ideas. Many of you are doing that anyway as inventors. But in terms of marketing, you got to start mapping out that marketing strategy. So draw some diagrams of how these pieces fit together. The videos, the website, the Facebook, your campaigns, how you capture people, what you're going to need and the messaging. Come up with a timeline And eventually you'll have your strategy. And I'm repeating this because that's the selling point. Begin now, begin now, begin now. Okay, you get it. But you're going to need some tools. Marketing, I said it was strategy, and then as well it's tools. This is really simple. All of you can do this. Do it. Begin with still images, because you must have good stills, even for video. Take lots of photos. They're free and can be easily morphed into your best images. Take lots and lots of photos. Just start snapping photos of your product, of your process, and pretty soon you're going to find a photo that you go, wow, that's really good. I like that. That's telling my story. So just start taking photos. Don't have to be professional, but with Photoshop you can professionalize almost everything. Be sure to let people see who you are. And this is leading up now to the crowdfunding thing. This is extremely important. Take photos that show interest. Your laboratory, your office, your studio, your partners, your dog, your location, whatever it is. Just start getting those shots because you're going to use them in your marketing, particularly in your video. Then brainstorm to come up with a business or product name and then translate that into your URL. Here's some ones that I think are just funny, actually. But this is like brainstorming, like Austin Found, Lord of the Wings, Merchant of Tennis. I mean, just these are ideas, creative ideas. Just open up. You need some sort of name and URL. You must have a compelling URL. Can't be too long. Keep it short and easy to remember. Being too clever can cause a percentage of people to get it wrong. Here's a bunch of really fun, over here, websites, but you get lost in there. At this point in my life, I'd get them all fumbling around in my head. I couldn't remember them. Also, a lot of people are coming up with a great name. They go, oh, geez, somebody already has the .com. Well, hold on to the .com. Because what's coming is every conceivable extension in the world, okay? And what will happen is if you go with one of those the different URL endings, okay, like you have a Vanish or Expert or .band or whatever it is, that's great until people don't remember. So, boy, if you can, get the .com, because that's what everybody thinks of doing first, okay? Really important, because a lot of people buy into one of these elegant little special URLs, and they're cutting out 40–50% of the follow-through because people just don't remember which one it is. You might be driving actually people to the competition because they got the .com. So you're going to have a website. Real simple. How many of you have websites? Okay, well there you go. Well, then you understand this. People, you want to know who you are on your home page, who you are, your products, your mission, and your contact. But now, if you haven't done this already, and you probably have, then start designing the pages, each one of those, who you are, your products, your mission, and contact information. You'll find that as you do this, you'll begin to sense the points of your business, okay? And then here's a really important one, a little dangerous at times, but find a fair-minded friend who you can share ideas with, someone who will provide useful, positive feedback. I'm not talking about someone who's going to go, oh, that's great. That's great. You know, family and friends who, they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever. But someone who's intelligent and is going to be fair with you, but not negative. Stay away from the negative people because they can kill you. Now, there's honest critique, but you really don't. How many people run into the people who just kill every idea you ever come up with? Yeah, everybody here, I'm sure. You know, I can't be around those folks. They bring me down. So we're making some progress. As you do this, you're naturally developing the content for your video. We're talking about videos here. So you have images, you've got your messaging, which leads to a script, you've got a call to action, to order or for more information, contact us. Those are the elements of your campaign and of your video. Then make your video. 2 to 4 minutes, 8 minutes max. If it's compelling, I've done some 8-minute videos that I'm very proud of and very effective because people go, wow, was that 8 minutes? Because it's interesting, and that can work. But most people are going to drop off at about 3. How many of you sense that that's about your limit? Yeah. So here's the way you want to go about that. As you start to think now about creating a video, write a draft of your entire script. Just write it. Just write the script. What do you want it to say? What's the message there? Okay? Include titles and bullet points. That's very important because you're going to be utilizing those things in your video. When you're watching a video, there'll be titles flashing up, right? You'll be talking about something and making a series of points, and the bullet points can pop up in your video. So make sure that in your writing your script, you include the titles and the bullet points. Then you also have to highlight the voiceovers. Who is actually talking? What words are you going to hear? That's the voiceover, someone talking. So in your script, make sure that you're highlighting the actual words that are being spoken. Okay? And then identify your talking heads to help tell that story. And if possible, it could include testimonials to strengthen your pitch and add credibility. So decide, God, who are my friends that might be good for this? Who are my clients that are satisfied? Start writing those people in. And all you need, particularly for testimonials, it can be a simple sentence. I worked for these people, they were great. Think about that. How often have you heard something like that in a video? Start understanding you have to have, it's good to have the talking heads. And then, as your video, shoot B-roll. The videos that help tell the story without needing dialogue, such as the street scenes, the interiors, the product, the process. Just get your video camera out, or have your videographer say, just go out and shoot. Shoot stuff that you think might start to work. From that, if you're talking about a 3-minute video, you may find 4 seconds that nails some element. That's all you may need. Some really good scene of traffic or someone doing something that is compelling. And you start stringing those really powerful points, the message, the stills, the titling, etc., together, and you start to have a very effective video. Once you have your script, just get out a little tape recorder. Read your script into a recorder and listen to it, and listen to it, and listen to it, and make changes in your script until it sounds right. And you'll find a flow. If you do this finally, you go, wow, this is working. This is starting to cook. That feels good. And you're also able to say, define your time, right? You sit there and you go, wow, this we had 5 minutes. That's too long. I gotta hone this in. So just use a little tape recorder and practice and practice. In other words, hear it, write your script, record it again until you go, wow, that's good. Run it by some of your friends, see if they like it. Then you do a storyboard. Storyboard is just images that kind of help you visualize, because it's a visual medium. So to whatever degree you can, start to visualize. If you have a title, have a little box with the title, your logo, whatever it may be. If there's something that's being said behind that, write the text. And you can it doesn't have to be exotic, it doesn't have to be finessed, but a storyboard starts to tell you literally what you need. It can be a short video clip, it can be your logo, it can be text, it can be a talking head, it can be a still, but that's what's going to start to happen. And it helps you define, what do I actually need to create this video? Some interesting tips. In your stills, you watch almost any ad these days, and you'll notice that hardly ever is the camera just fixed on somebody. It's almost always moving. Okay, everybody in the video schools right now are learning to keep everything moving. Everything is moving all the time. So even on a still, if you have a still, you can just have a still there, but you can actually your videographer, your editor, can zoom in on that to add some motion. Keep different objects and images zooming in, okay? And be sure to use appropriate backgrounds. Here's an example about background. This is you're a great background. Why? Because you're listening and you're not competing with me. But if anyone started talking here and mudding up the background, suddenly my message starts dissipating, right? And if all of you were talking, no one would hear anything I'm saying. So when you start trying to showcase an element in your video that's important, make sure that that background isn't creating background noise to take away from the message that you're trying to get across. A lot of times, if you look at videos and ads these days, you'll notice that there's just a bold color, a bit bold yellow, a bold pink, a bold blue with the object. It's a very common thing these days. Start to watch that. See how people do that. Talking heads. This is really important, and you can be the talking head or someone else can be the talking head. With on-camera people, be sure they communicate with confidence and that they know their lines. If they start fumbling around, wow, does that send a message, right? So use a teleprompter. And by the way, anyone with an iPhone can download a free teleprompter or an iPad, okay? And you just load up your text message, and it's amazing. Put it right below your camera lens so you're not people aren't looking over to the side, and they can follow through. And it's amazing. Suddenly people get confidence, and they can talk without fumbling. You got a perfect take really soon. It's amazing how people garble up a word and you got to go back and back and back. So try to use a teleprompter. Sound is critical. Nothing worse than listening to a video and having sound that really isn't there and present. Okay? Too many people will just take their video camera, and it's fun, it works, you know, if you're trying to capture that, and but you'll hear that kind of that room sound, okay, as opposed to boom. You want that sound right here because they want to be talking to you. So use a lavalier. Use some kind of microphone. And the lavaliers are very inexpensive. They're like, you can get a good little lavalier for $29. And I have right here, let's see, I think somewhere, yeah. This is anyways, I have a little Bluetooth microphone that hooks up to my iPhone. So now all of a sudden I can walk around, right? Unwired, and I can record, for example, on my iPad or iPhone. All right. Time to edit. Let's assume now you've actually assembled all these elements. If you're not skilled in editing, bring in someone who is. I strongly suggest that you not try to learn editing on the fly. It takes years to really figure out how to do it. It's a very complicated system. If you have to hire a professional, expect to pay between $1,500 and $3,500 for a 3-minute video. If you less than that, well, you may get lucky, okay? But you kind of get what you pay for. It takes a lot of time to do videos, the editing in particular. Budget 4 to 6 weeks for that video. If you start trying to do it all instantaneously, particularly if you're kind of new to this business, wow, you would not believe what kind of problems you can run into. Plus, it drives everybody crazy. And then finally, there will always be changes. No matter what happens in that edit, there's going to be changes. Oh, the sound wasn't right here. Oh, that got to change. You got spelled something wrong. But here's the thing. Realize that every single tiny change, you got it all figured out, and then my girlfriend comes in all the time and says, you should have an apostrophe there on yours. Okay, I'm going, hey, because it takes hours. And also, many niggling changes can lead to disaster, as editing is a digital nightmare that can go wrong, and when it does, people die. People give up. It's just like, because it takes oftentimes overnight to render things on longer projects. It's a very time-consuming process. Every change takes hours. Create your YouTube channel. You've got your video now. Put it on YouTube. I suggest YouTube because it gets such exposure and everybody likes it. Vimeo's okay too, but everybody likes YouTube and it's very accessible. So upload your video to the YouTube, create your YouTube channel, upload. Now you got a video on YouTube, your video, right? Then post links or embed your video on your homepage. Now you've got, think about this, a homepage with your video. Think how much different that is if someone comes to your website and suddenly they're actually seeing what you do, as opposed to seeing text and pictures. Then send emails to people on your lists. Post on your Facebook page. Tweet out a link. Send out press releases. And this is important because if you're really serious about marketing, these are all the tools you're going to have to do. Now let's talk about crowdfunding. Creating videos for Kickstarter or Indiegogo is different because people are expecting a certain style that has developed and you're asking for support. So it's a totally different pitch. It's not an advertisement, it's an appeal, okay? This is typically what people will see when they come to the Kickstarter page. And notice that this is it's never going to change. There's an image, there's a title, there's a short description, and then information about what you're looking for. Now let's talk about your crowdfunding style. You're expected to be direct, sincere, explain the how and why you are doing what you do. Invite them to become a part of this worthy effort. That's very important. These are your supporters, okay? They're not purchasing, they're supporting you. Talk about the wonderful rewards. Assure them that you can deliver what you say. If you didn't think they could do it, you're not going to invest, you're not going to support them. Remind them of the rewards and ask for their support and say thank you. That's what is going to work most often on your crowdfunding video. The amazing thing for inventors is that this is a powerful way to reach out to a huge source of funding who come wanting to participate. Think about that. These are people who come, they're saying, I'm looking for something I want to do, man. I got some money and I can give $1, I can give $5 or whatever it is. They want to give you some money. Make it easy for them, okay? And it forces you to commit to working your ass off to achieve that in 30 days. And I can't emphasize that enough. Once you start, you've got to be prepared to dance, okay? Be prepared. Crowdfunding sites tolerate a bit of funk in the videos and other things, but the most successful campaigns use highly crafted videos, which, if there is funk, it's designed to be there to appeal to their target audience. Okay? Now some really niggling little details. Remember all those pictures you were taking? This is where they start to really pay off. Have a powerful thumbnail. That's what people are going to see. And I don't know what the numbers are, but there's a huge percentage of the decision process that's made on seeing those little images, those little thumbnails. And remember that the thumbnail image, which you choose, is also the top image for your video. It's not like with YouTube where they kind of they choose a starting image for you, and you get whatever you put in that little box there is going to be the intro image for your video. So choose well. Make sure it works as a thumbnail, because that's what is a person's first introduction to what you do. Have a great title. Now this is from Kickstarter. Good titles capture people's attention and bring them into your project. Titles can be a little mysterious, but they should provide enough information to pique someone's interest. If your title is too generic, people won't be able to tell what you're doing. People want to go there and very quickly go. They're looking through and they see hundreds of different things. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What do I want to support? Make it easy for them. Make it something that's going to jump out and grab them somehow. Have that strong, bold thumbnail image. And then here's a very important part. Craft your description with 20 words. I've counted a lot of these little bits, and they come down to essentially 20 words. Okay? So the entire message is contained in the little description box on the Discover page. Because now people, think about it, now you have that image. If it's bold, you have a title that's grabbing, and they read the little description that draws them in. They're in. Now they're looking at you. So, fill in your text, make it bold and exciting. It's always a series, it's a long text, and there's titles. Those should become your selling points, your messaging. Those titles, you pull this off your website, pull this from your script, reinforce what's in your video. With the headlines, you have separate heads and then text, but fill in, only have short blocks of text and put lots of graphics and videos. Graphics, I should say. That's me. That's a successful campaign I worked on for a project called The Silencing. It's a documentary. So have images of your rewards so that people can see what they'll get. If you're going to say, we're going to give you a t-shirt, show them what that t-shirt looks like. They're going, wow, they're on it. They got a t-shirt. I guess they're real. I guess they take this seriously. And we have also in the text, in the little text, we're embedding images For $100 pledge, you get this Blu-ray or DVD disc of our movie. Okay. We managed to get our 10,000 bucks, but boy, is that a story. Okay. Setting your rewards. Rewards for less than $25 are significant, particularly for family and friends. This is where lots of people are going to just say, well, it's Steve, okay? We should all just chip in. And they do. It's amazing. All your family and friends, it's like if because you know who's donating to you, okay? So you can pretty much count on your friends and even your kind of associates to probably start to support your project. And they're going to come in maybe at the $1 to $5 or $25, but have rewards for them. Be sure you can have that $1 reward. Rewards of $25, $50, and $100 are most common and help you reach your goal quicker. When you post and launch, be prepared with everything in place. You need your website, where you and by the way, you've been announcing your Kickstarter campaign well in advance. Don't get your Kickstarter campaign and then build your website. Start months in advance. I can't emphasize that enough. Therefore, you can start to client capture features on your website. You can start find out who are the people who are interested in what you're actually going to do on Kickstarter. You got to do this. Facebook and Twitter accounts where you have been announcing your upcoming Kickstarter campaign. And then, drip, 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 drip. Begin to update, update, update. That's really important. Kickstarter has built in these easy ways to update. If you want to send out an email blast to everybody who's contributed, you can do that very easily, right? If you can include video updates, you're really improving your prospects. I'm trying to make the point that video works. So if you can start to drip these video updates into your email campaign, you're way ahead of the curve. And that can be 1 minute, and they can just like, hey, look what we just did with your support halfway through your campaign. We're almost there. Thanks so much. That's all you have to say. You know, it's easy. Russ Jasson and I, realizing the importance of that, I love what Russ does. We're partnering to actually create that campaign model and tool. Drip campaigns with embedded emails, with videos embedded in emails. It's really going to take off. So that's us, custom content videos. Remember QVC, the 19 exposures? Keep that in mind. You have to keep coming back to your people. Statistics, 40% of campaigns reach their goals. That means 60% fail. Here's an important one. You'll find that if you don't get support on your first day out, you need to regroup, rethink, and realize you did not do your homework. You better have people signing up on your very first day. If not, you've really missed the ball. 80% of campaigns never reach 20% of their funding within their first week. 80% don't reach the 20% mark, and there's 4 weeks. So you get the plateaus, dangerous areas. Drip, drip, drip. In summary, combining videos with social media and or crowdfunding is something every serious inventor should consider incorporating into their launch. For prospective investors, support is seeing you, and that's the important part, seeing you, presenting your product, and asking for their financial support with an interesting and informative website is imperative. How many people think that's right? Let's see. I think you're right. Okay, here's the magic mix. This is the winner's combination. And I've tried to give you an inkling of how and what you need to do to get there. Get yourself a website in advance. Start using social media so you have people and start letting them know what you're up to, and then utilize the video. Do it. Begin now. Launch when you're really ready. Don't ever launch before that. Okay? That's me.